Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm Cam, and this is Cam's Corner. Well, as you can see, no more beard. It's gone. Starting to grow back a little bit. Might go around 2, but hey, we'll see. But hey, thanks to everyone that joined us last week for our members-only event, live Q&A with Railers General Manager and Head Coach David Cunny. If you missed it, we snipped a couple pieces. Let's check it out.
Where do you begin to start constructing, even prospecting guys for next year? Is it like, would we walk into your office or now your house and there's just a giant whiteboard with a list of names, or what's kind of the formulation and what's kind of the process in order to get in contact and kind of lay some initial groundwork with some guys and agents?
So this is what I've been doing is, to be totally honest with you, and I've said this a number of times since I've taken over, my biggest concern is knowing the player pool. So in the American League, I was in the American League 18 years. The NHL, they have the money and the staff to have scouts, and their responsibility is to go out and get the players. As a coach, I just coach them up. Taking on the GM responsibilities, I have to get to learn the player pool a little bit, or a lot more. So I've been watching college free agents. That's all I've been doing is watching a lot of video. I am talking to the agents and getting lists from them and see who they have. But if I don't know the players, it doesn't do me any good, because when June 16th starts, I can sign free agents. And if I don't know who I want first, second, third, again, I'm going to be scrambling. So I'm watching a lot of video of the college free agents. I think I have a pretty good understanding of that now. Now it's a matter of studying the East Coast League and all the different players on every team to get to know, what every player in the league. So I could maybe look for trades and make to add. And again, we're not looking. I'm trying to build a team, which is different from looking always for the best individuals. And I think you win with a team, you don't win with individuals. And we're going to try and find guys that fit a need and to fit a certain role. Every role is so important. We need every guy. There's guys that aren't going to make our team that are going to go down to the Southern Professional Hockey League. They're going to be big parts of our team. Eventually during the season, we're going to need everything.
Well, going back to that general manager tag and obviously being the head coach as well, what was it like throughout the season from the end of November until we capped it off and were cut short midway through March, juggling those two of being a head coach and a general manager at the same time?
Yeah, that was tough. And even talking today to Chris Amarillo about different things, you have to kind of schedule time to be the coach, schedule times to be the GM. I spent a lot of time studying the video and watching guys, and I need to make sure that I'm on the phone talking to the agents and talking to the players, also letting them know that I do, that it's early and they might get AHL contracts, and I understand that, and I'm early in the process, but I do care about them, and I would like to have them as in Worcester with us. So it's walking the tightrope a little bit, because during the season, you're coming in and I felt like there was so much to get a net over that I was spending a lot of time as the head coach, and I don't know if I was spending enough time as the GM. That being said, I was trying to get to know our players and get to see where I could put them in the best situations for them to succeed, and then trying to get them to understand that some of those guys might not like that role, right? I'm trying to get them to, I can find a need for them and get a role for them and think that, hey, this is the best way you can help me. But then some of those guys might not want that role. They want more of a role, or, a different type of role. So getting to know our team and getting to know where everyone fit in about, then a month into it or 3 weeks into it, then it's like, okay, I finally have a great understanding of our guys. Now I can maybe start to look at some different things and, make some moves and look at who wants to be part of this and who doesn't. I sat down with everyone, 3 weeks after about being here for about 3 weeks, I sat down with everyone and kind of threw it out there like, hey, this is where I see you. This is how I think you can help us win. Can you do that? Will you do that? If you don't, then we can agreed to disagree and move on, and had some conversations with different guys about what I needed from them, and trying to get them to meet me halfway. Is like, it's tough at this level because guys want to get points, and guys think that getting points is the only way out of this league and to get a contract for the next year, when I'm trying to tell them, you'll get a contract if we win, and maybe taking a couple less points. Like, I'm telling you though, it's crazy because I think if you play the right way, you get more points. Like, if you play like a checker, you have the puck more. If you have the puck more, you're going to get more points. Where, some guys would cheat on the offensive side of the game, hoping to sniff out an extra point here and there. They get less done. It's amazing. So we're going to have more guys that play the right way so we can get more done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's definitely a challenge though, between the head coach and GM, and I need to make sure I make time for both. Being a head coach, being a coach as long as I was, and coaching guys up and trying to get guys to play at the highest level, or the highest level they could play at. At this, as a GM, I don't need to do that anymore, and I forget that at times. I say, you know what, I don't need this headache. I don't need to maybe spend as much time with a guy. I could get everyone better and I could coach everybody up, but it's the starting point. Where are we starting? Are we starting to try and keep a kid at the East Coast League level? Are we trying to get this player to the American League and NHL? So I need guys that we have a high starting point with, to work with, that I could coach them up, and their goal is to move on. But in the meantime, while they're here with us, they need to help us, and that's play the right way and get points and win games.
And cut short, how tough was that for you, the guys as well? Kind of just the way that it ended, especially at a time when it seemed that the Railers were starting to climb up the ladder a little bit.
That was the toughest thing, was because coming on board, once training camp ends, it's tough because basically the rosters are locked, and not too many teams are going to be giving away good players after that. So coming into it mid-season like I did, you can't add players. There's nowhere to really, you're looking at the Southern Professional League and the Federal League to call guys up from, but a lot of those guys are down there for a reason, or they've got different deals in place that they're not looking to move on. They're looking to stay in the city they're in. So it's tough because there's no players. You can't add players. So finally, it towards the end of the season, college free agency, you're finally talking to agents. You're able to add some guys and talk about what you like as a player. And then we finally were able to do that. We signed 5 guys. We brought them in. And again, that was a week there that we had practices in a row, and we practiced the power play. We practiced, the power play you talk about, because it's such a skilled position. Guys need to make plays, and the practice that week was like, it went way up. Again, you got guys competing for ice time, which is challenging. That's the toughest thing at this level. The East Coast League, you can only have 22 guys signed or on your roster that week. So there's not a lot of wiggle room, and you're scrambling. And like at the American League level, it's spoiled because you could kind of have 4 lines or 5 lines, a couple extras. So people are constantly competing for their job every day. We 22 guys signed, a couple guys banged up. You just don't have that same mentality. We try to create it, and you want to make sure that you use ice time so guys play the right way. But it was very disappointing. That was the biggest thing, because we finally, I had Brett Bowden, and he came in, got a goal and assist, and we had Feasley, who came in, got a goal that night. We finally added 6, 7 guys that I thought the skill level went up, and we were able to play the game I want to play, which is a puck possession, fast game. And I thought we were getting guys into the lineup. Just, again, it's no one's fault. We had injuries, we had retirements, we had guys go to Europe. It was a tough season, and different, it's no one's fault. It's just the way it worked out for us this year. But to try and get more guys that like we were doing at the end of the year, it was I thought we could have run the table. I really thought, with the guys we were adding, with the group of guys we had on the back end, everyone was healthy back there. We had, like I said, 8D that I could have put any one of them in. We're very, very comfortable with them. The difference was the forwards. We were able to add those forwards at the end, and I really thought we were going to go on a run, and we could have ran the table the last 11 games, which would have made things a lot easier for our fan base and for our owners to, to see like, okay, this is what we have coming down the pipeline. But I felt like we got cheated out of that just a little bit.
What do the next couple months look like for you? I know assembling a team is probably the number one priority, but what else is on the list?
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing is I take a lot of pride and I take a lot of responsibility in the opportunity to that I've been given to turn Worcester around and get them to become a franchise that it's a destination. I want it to be known as a city that players are dying to come to. We're so lucky to have great facility, great ownership, and great housing at the edge. So it should be an easy place to recruit. And now it's just a matter of getting the right people in place. And I mean, my sole that's going to be my sole purpose is I have to work extremely hard this summer so I can have an easier winter next year. I think these teams, when you're building teams, if you work extremely hard in the summertime, your winters hopefully are a little bit easier. That's the goal.
Cunny, you missed out on opening night last year, obviously. Opening night, October 24th. It seems like a ways away, but it's going to come quicker than we think. I'm sure you've seen some video of what opening night has looked like last year, the prior 2 years. I'm sure you're pretty excited to get behind that bench and experience in Worcester Railers opening night.
Yeah, I tell you, I was amazed, and I can't thank the fans enough in the city and the guys that sell the tickets, the ticket office is just amazing. Being here, being in Worcester with the Sharks and then coming back with the Railers, like when you have a game on Wednesday nights and Tuesday nights, and to see the crowds that we had at the DCU Center, it's a real tribute to Mike Myers and what they're doing in the ticket office, and it tells you it really tells you how great of a hockey city Worcester is in the surrounding area. It's definitely a hockey community, and people that are coming out on weeknights, it's not easy when their kids have school, and to see the commitment and the level of fans. I can't wait to put a winning season and a winning franchise in this place, because the city certainly deserves it, and I would want nothing more than to give them a winning team and help bring a winning tradition to Worcester, because again, they certainly do deserve it.
Well, there you have it. Always great catching up with Cunny. He's excited for opening night, October 24th. Seems like a long ways away, but it'll be here before we know it. Until then, continue to stay safe and healthy. And until next Tuesday, I'm Cam, and this is Cam's Corner.